Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 17th. It is 6:16 right now. We got market opening up in about 14 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. All right, it's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks like we are good to go here. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. That's good. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. All right, cool. So let's get started. Looking at the primary bias for today, guys, the bias for today is bearish leaning neutral. It's cautious downside skew into the Fed event window, which is going to be later today. The Fed meeting starts today, and the minutes will be released tomorrow once it ends. Weak retail sales. We had news event over here at 5:30 pre-market. We had retail sales. It was so the general consensus was that it was negative zero point 0.9, which signals potential slowing for consumer demand. Looking over here, geopolitical tensions plus the Fed meeting, of course, that are going to be happening today, will keep traders defensive. So you want to be a little more conservative with your trading, guys, because there can be some conflicting news, of course, tomorrow once the Fed meeting is over with. Looking over here at the price movement overnight, looks like price rejected overnight VWAP, and the pre-market right now is currently under the EMAs and point of control. So With that said, we might be seeing price possibly continue to drop lower. As you can see over here on the 15-minute time frame, I do have this kind of lined up right here as price has been trending down since yesterday. Other than that, key levels to look at for today, we have the overnight high over here, which is going to be um, at the resistance over here, the overnight key resistance, which is at 42,770. Prior close, we have the major upside target, which is going to be right here at 42,868. We got the psychological heavy resistance up here, which is going to be at 43,000. We got the Globex low down here for support, which is at 42,532. Support zone down here is going to be between 42,400 and 42,500. We're going to be looking for possible bounces right there. The support zone 2 is going to be at 42,200. The point of control is going to be right here, right around the middle at 42,650. We'll see if price ends up bouncing off that area or if it ends up pushing any higher. I'll change this back to the 1 minute. And then lastly, the last key level is going to be the 42,800 VWAP estimate. So you guys can see I have a lot of zones kind of marked up around here throughout my chart. If you guys want this PDF, go over to the Discord. I posted it in a lot of places. So I posted it under announcements. I posted it over here under team chat, and I posted it over here under, I believe, market outlooks for the daily. So I know it might be a little hard to see here on my screen, but if you guys want this PDF, just go over to any of these pages here on the Discord, download it, get the numbers, mark up the zones on your own chart. It's hard to see here on the 1 minute because price has been kind of slow lately, but if you look over here on the higher time frame, you guys can see all the zones here pretty much marked up. I've also marked up liquidity over here, so you can see liquidity is kind of bouncing back and forth. I'll clean this up a little bit because market is about to open up shortly in about 7 minutes. But for the most part, we're pretty much good to go. We got price here sitting at the volume point of control. We got liquidity that got hit right here and down here. One thing to also keep in mind is that the ATR is very low at the moment, currently at 10 ATR. So we'll see if this picks up or if it stays flat as market picks up and opens in the next 6 minutes. Hey Sam, how's it going? Morning. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got price kind of just sitting down the middle right now. We got sessions over here. We got the overnight high over here. We have the VWAP estimate up here. Some resistance up there. Obviously, if price stays bearish, we'll probably see price maybe push up. The first level of liquidity that I'll be looking to take bounces off would probably be this Asia high right here, around this area. It's kind of far off, so I probably would try to get in somewhere above that liquidity. Other than that, maybe over here at the VWAP estimate. Well, we'll see what happens here shortly once market opens up. There's a couple different plays over here to look at if you guys are looking to follow key news events and risks for today. Basically, this morning we had the news event at 5:30. Retail sales, it reported negative 0.9%. It showed that the consumer is there's consumer weakness right now, so that's not good for the market. Later today, we have import-export index, slight risk, not very too high. It's a low impact news event. And then ongoing, of course, geopolitical tensions, oil headlines influencing sentiment, and possibly more bombings from Iran to Israel. And the opposite. So with that said, let's kind of see what happens next. So basically the game plan summary for today is, trade light, trade reactive, respect the VWAP and point of control structures, prepare for an event news-driven chop, which can happen at any time because of the geopolitical tensions. Use tight discipline pre-Fed, which is going to be today. And focus on liquidity sweeps for scalps. Preserve capital for post-FOMC volatility window tomorrow, which is going to be 11 o'clock. So just a couple things there to look at, guys. I try to give you guys a pretty good understanding. If you guys look at my report each morning, it's pretty detailed. It covers all the news events, all the levels, game plan, etc. I think the market here might just kind of range and consolidate as we get closer to FOMC tomorrow. Technically, today's the first day of FOMC, but the uh, the minutes are going to be released tomorrow. So we'll see. Might have a slow market. ATR is still at 11 right now. So for the most part, it's pretty low. All right, so we'll see what happens here in a few. Yeah, looking at my liquidity zones, there's not really too many that are around the areas that we typically are looking for, which is completely fine, right? It's no big deal. If that's the case, then you just got to be patient. Hey, Ben, morning. Morning, Lila. Morning, Christian. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, we got market opening up in about 3 minutes. Breakout for today is looking like it may be a possible buy. We'll come back and take a look at that in a few, but right now the market here is kind of just staying a little bit flat. Looking over here at the market profile for today. Market profile looks like we're going to be in a bit of a range. Looks like hasn't really moved too much. We got the value low over here at 42,629. So I'll mark up the value low here because we don't really have many zones at the moment. So we got that right there. Resistance up here at 42,750. Uh, this will be the value high market profile. All right, we got market opening up shortly, guys. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 17th, 6:29 right now. Market opening up in about 30 seconds. Direction for the breakout today is going to be a buy if anybody's looking to take that. Price is pushing up right here. If you guys saw my PDF for today, primary bias is bearish leaning neutral. So we'll see what happens. Price might push up, reject off this liquidity, and come right back down. Other balance points for up here are going to be a little bit higher. So possible liquidity push or liquidity sweep from this area up here, or the level above it. There's going to be two different areas of possible liquidity sweep here for anybody who's looking to take it. We got price pushing up right now. So I'm going to wait a little bit, let price here kind of stabilize for a second. All right, so looking at this over here, there was an MPSV2 that came up pre-market. Since the MPSV2 already came up, next thing to look for would be a sweep, right? So we got MPSV2 right there pre-market, which came up. We got price bouncing off the liquidity here, just doing exactly what I just talked about. Look for price to push up, possibly bounce off the liquidity. We do have a bearish to neutral bias for today. Or bearish lean. It's not super, super bearish, but ideally that's kind of what we're looking for. All right, we got price pushing up a little higher. Let's see what we got over here. So I'll be watching to maybe get in for a sweep here. I'm not going to get in yet, but I'm going to be watching for it. We had news this morning at 5:30, which is right here. Retail sales. Nothing too crazy. All right, so we got price rejecting off the sessions right there. Price is pushing up to this level. I think for me personally, I might look for a sweep a little bit higher. I don't know if I'll get in for the sweep right here, guys. If you guys want to get in for the sweep, I'll mark it up for you guys. I'm not really looking to get in right here yet, though. I'm either looking to get in right here or right here. It's a little too early right now, so I'm not looking for that rejection at the moment. So the sweep could either happen here, guys, right here at the overnight resistance, or right here near the VWAP estimate. So breakout right there, hit full TP for 100 point or 50 points, looks like. So breakout is done with right here, guys. Looks like Talanji caught it. Nice work, Talanji. Having that right there. Full TP on the breakout. Still pushing up higher. Possible sweep right here at this level. It's currently running right now. So I'm not in the sweep right here. I was kind of tempted to take this sweep, but it happened a little too early. Looks like 20 points might have gotten hit already, almost. So 20 points hit right there, 30 points hit. If you guys caught that sweep, nice work, guys. I was tempted to catch it, but the volatility right here was just a little too strong for me. I was looking for it to slow down a little bit before it came right back down. So nice. So Rev over here caught the breakout and the sweep. Nice work, Rev. Yeah, I had my pending order just waiting right there too. I was really tempted to get into this. I just didn't have time to get into it because I was looking for price to kind of slow down around this area at the sessions, but then it ended up spiking up and it came right back down. So if you guys caught that, that was a perfect lineup right there. Breakout into the sweep. All right, so that's a good start for the day. So for the day, started off with a full TP on the breakout, full TP on the MPSV2 here pre-market, and the sweep right here, full TP. So yeah, and it lined up exactly with the value high market profile right here. So pretty solid. Clean rejection right there off the value high. All right, so we'll see what happens here in a few. Keep following it. Nice. Chris got it for 20 points. Nice work, Chris. Chris has been on fire lately. Friday, today, and yesterday. All right, we got price coming back down. This is pretty much lining up exactly with my analysis for today. So like earlier we said, our primary bias today was bearish leaning neutral. That's literally what's happening here. Price kind of pushed up, grab liquidity. It's not coming right back down. We have an MPS V2 here starting to set up a little bit. Pending sell signal. If that closes, we can look for a possible MPS V2 to the downside. The only problem is we don't really have liquidity sitting down here, right? So, I mean, even if price does push down, there's not really going to be any areas here for me to get in for liquidity down below. So we'll see. I know, right, Chris? It was about time. About time you caught that stride. All right, so just gotta sit tight for a little bit here. Looks like we might start to establish some range here. Yeah, and Christian said, and we have news price from 8:30. Yeah, right down at the open. So we got some red flags around this area right here, guys. We have a sell signal, which is closed. We'll see if price pushes down any lower. If it pushes down lower, we'll look for the possible retracement. And then MPS V2 right there to the downside. So we'll follow the MPS V2. I don't know if I'll get into an MPS V2 here, guys, because there's just a bunch of red flags around this area. The volatility here is decent. It's not super duper high, but it's decent right now. It's currently at 21 ATR. Yeah, we'll see what happens here in a few. All right, we got the possible retracement candle right here. So sell signal, retracement candle, possible MPS V2 to the downside. Let me see our possible trade setups for the day. What is the VWAP at right now? All right, so price is coming back to the VWAP. Sells here could be pretty nice because price is going to be aiming for the VWAP right here. This is basically where fair value is at. So, if price does push any lower, targeted area is going to be that blue line right there, 42 points. If it comes down, it doesn't have to come down, but that's the VWAP right now. Let's see. Inch comes off low. We're not really anywhere near the price structures right now. I mean, we're getting close to it, but we're not there yet. We got price pushing back up. So in order for us to have MPS V2 here, guys, we need price to close below this area right here. So this will be the MPS V2. So far, market's been pretty decent though. We had three back-to-back wins, breakout right here, full TP, MPS V2 full TP, and liquidity sweep right here, full TP. We have another possible MPS V2 setting up right here, but this candle has to close below this area right here. So we need a red candle to close below here for it to be an MPS V2. The only problem with taking an MPS V2 right here, guys, is that we have all of the red flags below, right? We got news price, we got opening price. So you can see some possible manipulation there if price does end up setting up. We have a possible buy signal here closing. So if this buy signal here closes, this sell here is going to be invalidated. There's no longer going to be a sell MPSV2. There may be a possible buy. Again, the overall bias for today, we're not overall bias, but in general, key bias for today is going to be bearishly neutral. Meaning, probably look for some sells, but you'll probably see some range and choppiness for today. We're currently at the sessions right now. This is the New York low. All right, no buy signal there yet. It's pending, but not quite. All right, we have a buy signal that just closed right here, guys. So there's no longer an MPSV2 for a sell. We're now looking for an MPSV2 for a buy here to set up. Main problem with that is that I'm not really looking to take buys here at the moment. So we'll follow it if it comes up, but I'm not really looking to take it. If anything, there may be another sweep up here, but in order for me to get that sweep set up, I need to have a buy here that closes first, right? So we need to get that buy MPSV2. So what I'm looking for here is possible, maybe a retracement right here, continuation. So buy signal, retrace, continue, and then possibly a sweep from up here. Something like that. All right, looks like price is coming back down. We're not going to get that buy. It looks like we're officially in a range now. So the range here is really starting to establish. Yeah, this upper range right here, lower range right here. Price is pretty much just going back and forth. It's trying to come down. You guys can see your price is trying to come down, but we're starting to set up a bit of a range right down the middle right here. So basically a range between the value high and the opening price. Huge wick right there on the 30-minute as it comes back down. All right, looks like we might get a sell signal here. So again, we might get MPS V2 for the downside if that sell signal closes. Yeah, Sam said be careful. ATR at 21, took a V1 buy and managed 20. Solid. Yeah, no, it's good. Solid work there. I would look for some of these, possibly A++ setups to the downside. Again, my bias hasn't really changed too much for today. All right, so we're stuck in this chop right now down the middle. Um, with that sell signal never closed, so the MPS V2 for a buy here can still set up. We had a buy signal here, price retrace down, push back up. If we get a green candle that closes above this area right here, this is going to be an MPS V2 for a buy. So with that said, if price does close there for MPS V2 for a buy, price may push up and then sweep from there. Just taking it easy. No need to force anything here. We got about 20 seconds for this candle to close. It's in a bunch of red flag areas, guys. So if you guys want to take this again, take it at your own risk. I'll probably be looking for the sweep above. If this here does close as we see it right here right now, this actually could pretty much set up for a really nice sweep. Price does come up to say the overnight high right there, key resistance. All right, so this is the MPS V2 currently running to the upside, guys. There's a possible sweep area up here. So if you're going to take that right there, price may push up. Once this MPS V2 hits, possible sweep from this area right there. There's no liquidity really sitting right there, but we do have levels. I mean, there's liquidity right below it. I probably wouldn't get in right here. I probably would get in somewhere a little higher right here on the 42,770. Now, it's line just expecting breakout to hit 100, around 42,785. And proto Asian high. Okay, yeah, exactly. Aim for the Asian high right there. And then possibly a sweep from that point at the 42,770. You just got to be careful because there's a lot of different news things that can happen right now, guys. As you guys know, the stuff going on between Iran and Israel is pretty intense. So you might just see some possible price spikes around here. So we got price pushing up. MPS V2 is on its way to its TP. Closest sweep level is going to be right there. I mean, the sweep might just happen right there at that liquidity, but the sweep that I'm looking for is up here on the sessions. So it looks like the sweep might have gotten filled already, but there's going to be another level right here at the sessions at 770. I'll put my order around that area. We'll see if this sweep here fills already and well, I mean, it's already filled. If this one over here ends up hitting, then probably gonna cancel my order. Yeah, so I'm looking to get into a sweep up here. This could be the possible sweep. I mean, it's already filled, so if it ends up sweeping right here, then I'm just gonna cancel my order up here. But I'm looking for this MPSV2 to possibly hit and then sweep off the sessions right there. 6:47 right now. We're getting closer to 7 o'clock, so the volatility might start to slow down as we get closer to 7. So MPSV2 looks like it hit already for 20 points. It may push it for that 30, but if not, 20 to 25 already got hit. The ATR right now is currently at 22. Let's see. See, the thing that I'm worried here is that there's going to be a random breakout. I think there's some more news for today as well. Let me refresh this. Okay, so we got business inventories at 7 o'clock and retail inventories and NAHB housing market index. They're low to medium impact news events. So they're not going to affect it too much, but they are still news events nonetheless. All right, looks like the sweep here already filled, guys, from this point, so I'm gonna have to cancel my order up there. Yeah, sweep already filled right there, 30 points. It's all good. Gonna cancel my order right there. It never came up to fill where I wanted to get in from, but this sweep over here it filled pretty much perfectly. So back-to-back wins right there, guys. There was a MPSV2 into a sweep.
Order canceled.
So my order is canceled right there. Pretty solid day overall with regard to entries. We had the breakout full TP, went all the way up to almost 100 points, if not already at 100 points. He got close to it, not yet, but it for sure hit 50 right there. So we had breakout hit full TP, MPSV2, sweep, MPSV2. It's pretty linear right now. It's doing exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for an MPSV2 to be followed by a sweep, sweep to be followed by MPSV2, and then MPSV2 to be followed by a sweep, which is exactly what happened here. So you had about 5 back-to-back wins so far for today's live session. A lot of these entries here, I should have taken this one over here, but again, like I said, I was waiting for my next setup to come up over here, which hasn't came up yet. I was trying to get in at a farther liquidity zone. I talked about this with Chris yesterday, and I talked about this with a lot of other people. Well, for me personally, I have to squeeze my entries in before 7 o'clock. Or have to try to because the volatility here starts to die out as we get closer to 7 o'clock. It's 6:50 right now. It's about 10 minutes till 7 o'clock. This is normal for the summer market. If you guys traded with me last summer, this was the same thing that we looked for in the past, right? I always look for entries before 7 o'clock. Typically, I try to get in before 8, but because we're in the summer market, the volatility dies down a lot earlier. So we're getting closer to 7 o'clock over here. I'm not done trading. I'm going to keep looking for entries, but I wouldn't be surprised if the market volatility just gets completely flat um, as we hit 7 o'clock. So I'll keep looking for entries here, but um, I'm not going to be forcing any trades here if nothing comes up. So we are now just going to hang out and wait for something here. Yeah, again, if you guys are just joining in and you guys want to see where my levels are marked up, just go to the Discord. If you guys are not part of the Discord, if you guys are on the YouTube, just scroll down. The Discord link is right there in the description. Right here in the Discord, I post up my PDF for my YM Daily Outlook every morning. So if you look over here at announcements, it's posted there. It's usually posted around like 6 o'clock, if not earlier. Once I have the the report generated, I also posted it under Team Chat. And if you guys just want to look for the main area, it's going to be right here under Market Outlooks. So all of my outlooks are going to be posted right here, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. Going to be key, guys. I do highly recommend you guys look at it or just take a glance at it, because it's good to have an idea of like what's happening on the monthly, weekly, and the daily chart here, right? The daily, of course, is going to be important because we're day trading, but it's always going to be important to look at the bigger picture, which is going to be monthly and weekly as well. Yeah. So if you guys haven't been on the live sessions lately, basically what I'm doing now is I'm putting reports together. So I have my outlooks right here. Basically, I'm gonna have all my outlooks for June, basically every month, every week, and every day. So I have an idea of like what's going on. I know what news is happening, what to look out for, what's tricky, what's not tricky, etc. So that we have a full understanding of like what's going on in the market. As you guys know, this year has been very news driven. So I'm not very much of a fundamental trader, but you have to know what's going on, right? So what I did is I created these reports and I draft up these reports pretty much every week, every month, every day, so that I understand the macros in the market. The macros aren't super easy to understand. So um, hopefully, these breakdowns in my reports will help you guys understand it a lot better and a lot more concise. You don't have to know everything about macros, but um, it's good to have an understanding of like how price will react to certain news events so that you know what to expect. But I don't think there's any other high impact news events for today. They're pretty much low impact for the most part. There's nothing here really specifically to look at. So I'm not really going to see much of a movement here. I know we have news coming up right here at 7 o'clock, but I'm not really going to expect it to push price very much. So we do have news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. It's medium impact. We got price pushing back up right now. There's no MPSV2 for a sell. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up here for a buy if the buy signal closes. We have a possible sweep area right here. But price is doing exactly what I just said earlier, right? I said price is cutting into a range right here. And that's pretty much what we've confirmed. So back earlier when price was over here, I mentioned once price comes down, we're probably going to see price get into a chop right here and start to range and consolidate within this middle zone. And that's exactly what's going on here. So just a matter of time until price breaks out of this area. Just got to wait and be patient. Yeah, there's no need to like force any trades here, guys. Ideally, I would probably still kind of try to look to take a sell, but I mean, we'll see. We will see here. I'm looking at the overall direction of price right now, so let's take a look at my charts. So the 1 minute's bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 30 minute is neutral, 1 hour is neutral, and the 4 hour is neutral. So with that said, we're pretty mixed right now. The lower time frames are like slightly bullish right now, but the higher time frames are pretty much neutral. It looks like the higher time frames are trying to shift to a sell. Looking at the 30 minute right here, price started from this high, came low, and you can see here lower lows and lower highs. So price is attempting to turn its way around. Not quite there yet, but we'll see what happens here shortly. So we have a sell signal, retracement. If this red candle closes below this area right here, this will be a possible MPSV2 for a sell. We have no confirmations here just yet. Glenn is asking, are you back to full risk now, Sean? No, not yet. I'm still at quarter. Still at a quarter. It's gonna be here on my stats too. So I mean, not my stats for my this from yesterday's. Yeah, if you look at my PDF over here, I also mentioned position sizing. So reduce ahead of Fed, no more than 20.25 or 0.50. So basically right now I'm using a quarter. I'm right in between. So the range right now for positioning sizing is either a quarter or it is I'm not at a quarter, sorry. I'm in a third. So either between a quarter or a half. So I'm between a third and a half right now. So I haven't gone to full sizing yet. Probably not going to go to if I do go to full sizing, it's going to be on a weekly basis. So I'll tell you on Monday if uh if I've gone back to full sizing. I'm probably not going to go back to full sizing for the summer because I mean, look at the market, bro. It's not really worth the risk, right? I wish I could go to full sizing. Trust me, I want to go back to full sizing because I like seeing those, $2,000 profits per account or $1,000 profits per account. But right now, it's just not worth it. Like for me, I'd rather take half risk so that if I lose a trade, I could probably make it back on the next one and just break even versus, um, taking full risk and then having to really put my accounts at risk if it doesn't reach the point where I'm looking for. So yeah, I probably won't go back to full risk until maybe September. It's June right now. Let's see, where are my stats for the month so far? I think I have my Trader Sync set up. Okay, yeah, so here's my Trader Sync, guys. Here are my stats for the year so far. So year to date. I mean, it's been kind of slow because I've lowered my contract size, right? So like first week of June, you can see here is pretty much break even. I didn't really take a lot of risk. I took a lot of trades, but I didn't take a lot of risk. Over here, I took like a third of my risk. Last week, I had like a small loss for that trade that we took on Friday. We had a win, loss, partial here, and then a loss over here. So small loss on last week, and then this is this week. So you can see my risk has kind of gone up a little bit. So I'm like more so on the half risk rather than the third. Or actually no, I'm still on the third risk, but I added my other accounts. You can see here I took more trades because I was getting a payout request set up, and I just didn't trade on like half my accounts. So these were like basically third risk, but half my accounts, and this is third risk, but not all of my accounts, but majority of my accounts. So I'm doing okay for the week so far. I'm not really taking anything too crazy. These are my stats for June. It's actually kind of small compared to what we're used to, right? My overall though. So here's my overall performance. Let's see. So here are the wins from yesterday. I'm currently at 412,310 gross. Net's currently at 332. So I've been kind of like in limbo for the past couple months from April, basically from like yeah, April up until now, I've been kind of just going back and forth. I've had some wins, had some losses, but this is like real trading, guys. That's something that you guys want to keep in mind. This is real trading. You're not always going to see price going. You're not going to see your equity curve go up straight up all the time or straight down all. You might see it go straight down all the time, but you're not going to see it go up consistently forever, right? You're probably going to have some nice push here. Earlier in the year, I had a good, pretty much first couple months. Then from April, we had the tariff news, pretty much tariff news every month, and it's been kind of throwing my curve around. But the good thing is that I'm sticking to my game plan and I'm not really changing things up. So my sweep level right here looks like it finally reached. There was no MPS V2 in between, so like there was no setup there for me specifically. I'm still looking for the MPS V2 here to set up. So what I'm looking for here at the moment, this is actually the news candle. We had a little bit of a spike there. So the news right here came out at 7 o'clock. It was negative. So it's neutral negative. That kind of spiked price right there. So I'm going to put news price right there. We got price pushing up a little bit. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for an MPS V2 to come up, push price up a little higher, and I'm going to look for a possible sweep from up here. I mean, the sweep might happen right here. This is a news sweep though. But there could be a possible MPS V2 right there. So possible, or sorry, MPS V2 right here for a buy. and then a possible sweep up there for a sell. Neck is killing me. Man, nobody came to work today. Where's Cody or Kai? Both the dogs are knocked out. The interesting thing is like Kai's been coming to trade with us in the morning. You guys just haven't seen him on the camera. He's here, but and he's considered the lazy dog. So like it's funny because when the market's kind of slow and we're not really doing much, Kai's around. When the market's fast and kind of all over the place, Cody's around. So that's Christian's indicator there. If you ever see any of the dogs on the screen. But there's nothing going on here right now, guys. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up right now. Buy signal retracement. If this here closes above this area here, this pink line, this will be the MPSV2 hasn't closed above that area yet. Yeah, I know, right, Maria? Cody Kai indicators. Christian said that sweep hit 2020, didn't get into it, but wow, yeah. So the sweep over here is pretty nice. Like I said, this is the sweep that I was actually trying to get into. The problem with this sweep here was the fact that it was on news candle, right? We had the news here at 7 o'clock. Exactly, yeah. Christian said, but there was news. So if there was no news there, I probably would have gotten into that sweep. This is a sweep that I was initially waiting for. I'll look for this one up here now. But that was the one that we initially were looking for. It just never filled, right? Because price over here swept at this area, then it pushed up, it swept right here, and then now it is pushing up higher. MPSV2 still hasn't closed yet. The screen candle would have to close above this pink line right here, guys, in order for it to be a MPSV2 for a buy. So MPSV2 for a buy, push up, and possible sweep up here, right back down. Let's see, Sam says sweep at 72,724. I think you meant 42, right? 42,724. Wait, that's super. Oh, you're looking for a buy sweep. Okay. 724, which is. So I personally, actually, let me check. Oh, okay, I see it. There's a low there. Let me update this real quick. Thanks, Sam, for the heads up. Haven't updated my sweep levels and stuff right there yet. All right, so this sweep over here that I was looking for, guys, already hit full TP. Unfortunately, I couldn't get into that one because there was news there. But yes, so I see a possible sweep level right here, pretty much right below yours, Sam. The thing is, I don't really have confluences around this area. The main confluence I have is going to be the sessions right here. So we do have the New York low at this point, but I do have a liquidity sitting right here. So I do have liquidity. It's going to be a tight sweep though. Yeah, it's going to be a tight sweep because your sweep is 1 point above it. My sweep is 1 point below, but I don't know if this will actually sweep because I want to see confluences around this area, right? Like, so for example, down here, this would be a sweep that I would be looking for. Because see how we have these confluences right here, news and opening price? There's a confluence right here, but it's a little too high. Yeah, it's a little too high. You want a confluence that's closer, kind of similar to this right here, right? We have the VWAP estimate right here, and it's right next to the liquidity. We have it right here too, but it's a little more spread out. So yeah, no confluence for me right there, Sam. No problem. Let's see, so that's 797. Yeah, that could be a sweep area. So your sweep area is right, and it's basically the lower. It's an earlier sweep than mine. So my sweep level would probably happen like closer to here, because obviously I want the one that's farther out. Mine might not even get filled. Um, but yeah, yours is right below the VWAP estimate. So you do have a good area right there. Let's see if it does go into drawdown. I think you should be fine because if it comes up here and it fills my sweep up here, I think you should be okay because you'll be able to eat at least some drawdown there, depending on where your stop loss is at. If you're using a 20-point stop loss, your drawdown would be right there or higher right there. This isn't really a key level. I mean, it's just an estimate level. That was if price was continuing to drop. So like this was a VWAP estimate if price was going to continue dropping. It didn't. So the VWAP is actually below it now. All right, we have a possible MPSV2 setting up over here. Possible sweep from this upper level. This might be getting close to your sell level right there. Or I might have filled it already. There might be a sweep right here, guys. So possible sweep at this liquidity. There just wasn't any confluences around this area, so I wasn't really looking to get in for a sweep at that point. But it looks like price is sweeping. Looks like 20 points got hit right there. Yeah, so 20 points got hit right there. Right. So this could be a possible MPSV2 to the upside, guys. I mean, these are sweeps after sweep, so I wouldn't really be looking to take sweeps here anyways. I ideally would be looking for an MPSV2 to come up first. So if this green candle closes above this area right here, this could be a possible MPSV2. Let's see. Christian said he got a notification from Tradeify that there's going to be a market halt on June 19th. Yeah, June 19th is Juneteenth, so it's a holiday. A lot of people forget that. Yeah, Juneteenth is a federal holiday now, so or I don't know if stuff's closed, but the markets are for sure closed. They started doing it like a couple years ago. Yeah. All right, so this could be setting up for MPSV2, guys. 20 points right there for sweep again. This is a possible MPSV2. This MPSV2 is going to be tricky, guys, because it's going to pull into the my sweep zone right there. It's got to pull past it, so I'm not taking that, of course, because it's going to go against possible area for sweep here. I think a 20-point sweep or 20-point is going to be good for like most entries today, guys, because it is. I mean, the ATR is currently at 20 now. It's probably where it might stay at. Okay, if price pushes up any higher, we're finally getting to resistance. So we're not at resistance yet, but we're getting close to the resistance levels up here. Possible sweep right here off that VWAP estimate that I marked up. This is why I wouldn't want to take the MPSV2 right here, guys, because there's too many rejection points. There's a rejection point at the VWAP estimate. There's a rejection point right here at the liquidity. So we got conflicting analysis right now with regard to these opposite entries. I mean, they both might hit. The thing is, like, there's a sweep area. Like, my actual sweep area is up here. It's a little higher at this liquidity zone. See, the sweep is at 42.8. I'm not in this sweep though, guys. So I'm not in this sweep. Like I said, I want these to line up with each other, which they haven't lined up with each other yet. So that MPSV2 looks like it might hit. What might happen here is, the MPSV2 might hit TP, then it might sweep back down. The reason why I didn't really like this liquidity right here, guys, or the sweep is because, like I said, this VWAP estimate is just an estimate. It's not a hard line zone. It's not like a resistance or a support or a value high or anything like that. It's kind of just it's an estimated price point here for the VWAP to follow. The thing is, the VWAP is down below right now because price has been pushing up, right? So it's not really considered a strong confluence or like a real confluence. So I'm not really in anything here. I'm hoping the MPSV2 hits. So MPSV2 right there hit full TP, guys. If you guys took that for 30 points. 30-point move right there. So there's going to be two things that might happen here. Price might come back down, finish off the sweep to the downside, or price may just continue climbing from here and then reject off here. This is like an actual confluence that I'm looking for. The prior close resistance. This is exactly where I would see the actual sweep happen from. But I mean, the sweep could happen from here, guys. Like I said, it's just, the sweep here isn't lined up how I'd like it to line up. So not exactly one that I'm looking for. Could possibly play through, but just not one that I'm looking for myself. Let's see, visual said 42,876 is the next move up target, previous day close. Yeah, so your setup or your rejection point, it pretty much lines up with my resistance right there too, visual. So we're looking at the same thing here. I'm looking for price to push up to those points, possibly reject, come back down. Those are like legitimate confluence points that I'm looking for rejection. So what I may look for here is I want to see price maybe get close to it and then maybe come back down without actually touching it. So it establishes a high right there and then retest and double top basically, right? Establish a high right here and then a sweep above it right there at the resistance. We're past 7 o'clock though, so volatility here is starting to slow down a bit. A lot actually. Sam's trying to break and retest if it comes down. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so Sam's going to try to look for a break and retest right here for it to pull back into this lower range. So the range is still kind of set up around here, if you guys can see. I mean, if price decides to come back down, this is where it pull back down to, right? Break and retest right there, back into that lower range. Man, I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting into these earlier entries. Like these would have been perfect, both of these sweeps right here. This sweep and this sweep right here. This sweep would have been perfect. This is the one that I was actually looking for earlier. But it's all good. I'm still playing it safe. We talked about this all throughout the week. You just got to be conservative, guys. We're in a summer market, so it's not our first time trading summer. The good thing is that, my PDFs here, they're coming in clutch, guys. Like looking at these here, the zones are super helpful, using them as a pretty strong confluence for my sweeps. Um, a lot of times these sweeps over here line up with those strong, major price levels. So yeah, Christian said wouldn't mind an MPS V2 to the downside. Yeah, we could see that. I mean, ideally, that's kind of what be looking for. Pull back into this lower range. Yeah, but Christian said if the target's at the sessions, they'll skip. We'll see. I mean, the volatility here is pretty flat now, like super, super flat. We got nothing going on now. All right, the market is completely flat, guys. Just be patient. It's not doing, and now we're starting to get some movement, but it's still not doing too much. It's picking up a little bit, but not crazy amount. All right, it's starting to come down. We might have this MPSV2 setting up for a sell. All right, we got the sell signal closed right there. I don't know if we'll actually get an MPSV2 here for a sell, but we'll see. All right, so no sweeps here right now, guys. Or is the sweep still running? Technically, this sweep is still running, guys. This sweep's been running for a while now. So I'll follow the sweep, but we do have, I mean, technically we do have a sweep which is running from this level right here. This is a sweep that I said I wasn't going to get into because there was no actual confluence around here. We just had this VWAP estimate, which isn't like a standalone price. Thing is, a VWAP is way below right now. So the thing is, I'm going to keep this price point here. If the VWAP catches up to this estimate right here, that's where we're looking for price to finally come back down. So we're looking for price push up and then come back down for the VWAP estimate to like line up with the actual VWAP. The actual VWAP's way down here though. So if you guys can see, the VWAP is way down here. All right, we got price pushing back up. Let's follow it and see what's going on here. I mean, realistically, it looks like this might just be another range, guys. So we had the earlier range before. We have another range right here, possibly. Doesn't really matter to me too much because we're not close to any of my levels. We're getting close to my resistance though, which is up here. So once price gets up to that area, I'll start looking for opportunities. What I might want to see here again is, look for price to push up, not actually touch the resistance, but get pretty close to it, come back down, and then sweep from there. This is what I'll be looking for. So I'll look for a possible double top to set up right here or a triple top. And my sweep level will probably be closer to the resistance right there. ATR is kind of low though, so we'll see if this actually sets up. Sam said zoom out, and I see that price wants to reach somewhere on top. It's slow but consistent, constant buying. Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of targets right here, Sam. So, I mean, we have the resistance, which is right here. We have the second resistance, which is right here. We got liquidity sitting up here. More liquidity right there. This is the big resistance though. So up here, and I'll zoom out for you guys real quick. So this is the big resistance. Ideally, this is kind of where price is going to try to reach today, right? We got resistance zone 3. This is the big area where it's probably going to bounce from. If it doesn't bounce off these lower resistance right here, it's going to bounce off this one up here, because this is where the New York high and London high is sitting. So we got London high, New York high sitting up here, and then we have it within this big resistance zone right here, zone 3. So that's there's a lot of levels up there to see bounces from. I'm not going to expect it to happen right now, but we'll see. I'm just glad that my PDFs are coming in handy, because the thing is, this was a trial run for me. I wasn't like dead set on creating these reports every day. But now that these reports have been really helping understanding like where the strong confluences are at, I definitely will probably keep producing these reports, right? Again, if you guys want the reports, they're completely free. Just go grab them in the Discord. Um, they help me help you guys, because they help me understand where my actual solid entries are at, and then it helps you guys kind of have an idea of like where to look for too. You don't have to be applying my strategies. You can just use my levels here, and then using these levels right here. If your entries kind of line up with these bounce points, then the odds of your trades hitting are very likely. So just something to keep in mind. Let's see. Sam is asking 42,860. So 42,860 is right next to my resistance right here. I don't have anything there specifically, but yes, it's pretty close to my resistance one. And 42,880, same thing. It's next to my resistance too. So your bounce points are like just a little bit below mine, Sam. Just a little bit below, maybe by 10 points or so. So it's fine if you get something from that point there, you might get yours might get filled, mine might not. But your analysis kind of lines up with what I was just talking about right here, Sam. So your analysis is that you're looking for a possible sweep below my resistance, right? And that's exactly what I talked about earlier. I said I want price to kind of push up close to this area, not actually touch the resistance, come down for a little bit, retest it for a double top basically, and then come back down further from there. So yeah, yours can happen. You can get that first sweep, the initial one, and then my big one's gonna come right after it. So yeah, you're pretty close to my resistance point. You're not at the resistance, but you're pretty close to it. You're probably off by like maybe 10 points or so. Yeah, exactly. Talanji said back to 43K is a possibility. London high maybe. Yeah, and I agree with you, Talanji. You're so the 43K that you're talking about is going to be at my big resistance zone over here. This is my resistance zone 3. So yeah, I could see price reaching that area right there, Talanji, and then coming back down. Or if it breaks above it, so there's two different things that can happen here. Price will either reach this area, bounce off and come back down, or what might happen is price might break above it and push up higher. If you guys look at my report for the week, so the main thing here that a lot of people are looking for, the reason why volatility here is low is because we have FOMC tomorrow, right? The meetings start today, but the reports come out tomorrow, the actual data. So tomorrow we have interest rate decision, we have Fed Powell speaking, and we have the minutes from the meeting. So with that said, once we have that there, price will probably skyrocket past this area. So if you pull up my report from week two, again, if you guys want my reports, I do one every week. You can see my report over here for week two. My major resistance level is we're getting close to it. Actually, I have another chart here, so let's just take a look at it. Okay, so here's a monthly resistance, right? And I think this is like the biggest game changer for us here, guys, is that we're looking at things from the monthly perspective and we're looking at things from the weekly perspective. So if you look at this over here, here's my monthly resistance. This is going to be around that 43,000 range, right? So if we cut into that 43,000 that you're looking at, Talanji, then we're going to get into that monthly resistance range, right? And if we get into that monthly resistance, this is going to be key for looking at that bounce, right? Because look at how many times prices bounce from this area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a bunch of times, right? That monthly resistance is a strong price point. I mean, price might push above it, but the odds of it bouncing are very likely. So we have the monthly resistance right here. Now let's go to the weekly resistance. We're still not at the weekly resistance, which is in that area too, right? So this is where things start to come full circle, right? I think this is why it becomes super important that you guys follow my reports. Because all this data, I've given this data to you guys. It's not like this is a secret. I've had this marked up for a long time now. This is a weekly resistance, and this is the monthly resistance, where we're getting close to both of those areas. The thing is, I think 43,000 is going to be a strong bounce point because we have the weekly resistance around that area right here. It's between 42,950 and 43,300. Nice area for rejection or a reversal. And then same with the monthly too. We have it set right here at 42,900 to 42,300. So every month I'm going to mark up these new charts. I'm going to mark up new resistance, new support so that you guys can have an idea of what to look for. If you look here on the 1 hour time frame, price is in a range, right? It's been ranging between this area for months. Or not months, maybe a couple weeks, like May 25th right here, it cut into this range. Or no, technically it's been in this range for a while. Price has been here since May 12th. Faked out below, came back into the range. That looks good. Yeah, it looks pretty good there. So again, we'll look for that monthly resistance to get hit. Same with the weekly resistance. But you can see here nothing's going on, right? Price is just going back and forth. I'm probably not going to be able to take any entries today, guys, because this is probably what we're going to be stuck with. A lot of back and forth. Unless we get something happening in the news, right? If Iran decides to send missiles to Israel today, I mean, this could come down. The thing is, like, Iran is there's a lot happening, guys. If you guys saw, Trump basically gave them a warning. He told everybody in Iran to get out. Uh, so Iran's gonna get bombed like crazy over the next couple of days. It's just a matter of time for when it's gonna happen, guys. Israel already said they're gonna be bombing like multiple places, all of the nuclear plants in Iran. So the thing with that is that, if we have it happen like right now, you can probably see they start to crash down. Like this can easily spike. At that point, the technicals don't matter. That's why it's important that you guys look at my reports because my reports cover the macroeconomics, right? Like right here. Global tensions and upcoming Fed projections. This is for tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is the Fed projections. Today, possible global geopolitical tensions. Because the thing is, Israel is gonna attack at some point. We just don't know when. Right here, key risk under label 4. So key risk, sudden geopolitical or tariff headlines may spike VIX and disrupt order flow. And that's kind of what you want to be careful for. That's why I'm saying, you should take lower risk during this time, trade a little more conservatively, because your analysis could be perfect. Like you could have super spot on analysis. And this is why I'm kind of looking for the sells here. Because the thing is, I'd rather be on the sell side than the buy side if something happens. Price spikes down, I'll be ready to catch that sweep if we get near that area. I'm just waiting for one of those days for like one of those black swan events where where I'm in a position and that thing just spikes like 1,000 pips or 1,000 points. That used to happen a lot during COVID. If you guys traded with me during COVID, it was pretty fun because we would take a buy and then it would just be ranging for like a long time, and all of a sudden it just spikes up like 500 points. And then I'll make a ton of profit because it would slip, like there'd be a ton of slippage. And I'm sure like more of those black swan events are going to happen. Just like it did on Sunday. If you guys remember from Sunday's market. So let's go over here to Sunday. So when market opened up on Sunday, or I forgot what day was it. It was over the weekend. But anyways, over the weekend, prices ended up coming down like a crazy amount. I forgot when was it, but we talked about it on the Discord. I think it was like right here. It was like when the initial bombs happened, like it dropped like 500 points. It's pretty heavy. All right, guys, not really seeing much here. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Sam said, okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, no, definitely, Sam. I'm hoping our sweeps here would get filled, but it's not really looking like it. I'm going to mark up liquidity here. So we have a lot of liquidity levels which have populated over the past, say, 30 minutes or so. All right, so we got some more liquidity kind of just hanging out around here. Yeah, we got 25 minutes left until 8 o'clock. Countdown's on. Hey, CJ. So I think CJ's here. Guys, just a heads up, we have a mentoring session which is confirmed for Wednesday. It's at 2 p.m. I'll be sitting down with Ben to cover some stuff. So if you guys want to sit in on it, feel free. I'm not going to answer any questions for anybody there. It's just going to be between me and Ben. But if you guys want to sit in, I know we haven't had a mentoring session in a while. So, and CJ, I know you were asking about it. So that one is confirmed Wednesday. Thursday one is not confirmed yet, but the Wednesday one is confirmed. And then Sunday. So every Sunday, or I'm going to try to do every Sunday. I don't know if I have anything scheduled. Nothing for this Sunday. Yeah. So this Sunday I'll be doing the video for the weekly outlook. I'll try to do that weekly. I'll keep doing these videos and stuff maybe for the next couple of weeks. If they do get traction, great. If they don't get traction, I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'll keep generating the reports, but I'm probably not going to be doing the videos because they just take too much time. Plus, I think my iMac is about time to retire. The crazy thing is I got this Mac. Let me see where I'm at. Yeah, I got my computer, this iMac Pro, back when we first started trading Forex in 2019. So my computer here, it looks fine right here on the Zoom, but when I record videos on it for YouTube, the video quality is like horrible. So if you guys saw the last weekly outlook, it was it's like to say the least, it's a headache to record. I'm okay with editing on it, but just recording is a headache. Might be time to retire this iMac Pro and get a new one. I just don't like the new ones though. The screen's too small. Like this screen is huge. You guys can't see my screen here, but everything here that's live stream right now. That's why my charts here look big. A lot of people always say that my live stream here screen share looks huge because my screen's huge. But the new iMac Pros they're like a lot smaller. So just something to, obviously keep in mind. So over here, trying to look at my thing is when I first bought this computer, I pretty much maxed it out. So even though this computer is super old, I have like I think I paid like almost 6 to 8 thousand for this computer. So it's been running pretty well for me for a long time. I still got to make a decision too if I want to stay with Mac or if I want to move over to um a PC. Mac just makes everything so easy though, so I want to stick with Mac. All right, guys, we have an MPSV2 setting up right here. It's pushed into this lower liquidity. I'll just clean that up a little bit. We have a sell signal retracement, red candle here following up. So if you guys want to take this as an MPSV2, I mean, feel free to take it. I'm probably not going to take the MPSV2. I'm going to look for a possible sweep here, but I will follow it with you guys here if you guys are looking to take it. See, again, the problem here is that we have a bunch of red flags down here, and I don't want to be caught in these red flags. Nice, nice. So Visual said my desktop is connected to my 55-inch TV. Very clean resolution. I see every detail. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of people, they're like on smaller computers, like on laptops, so it's like harder to see. But yeah, if you're on a big TV with high resolution, you can pretty much see everything. I think that's going to be my next step for the next computer that I move to. I'm gonna have to get like a really, really big screen. Because I think it would be cool if I could have like multiple screens up, right? Like if I could have this up and then also have this up somewhere, not have to go between the tabs and stuff like that. I think that would be ideal. And then also maybe keep my PDF somewhere over here to just look at all times. All right, no entries here right now, guys. I mean, there's an MPSV2 which is currently running, but like I said, it's not one that I would recommend taking because the volatility is very low. Ideally I'd look for a possible sweep. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I just realized there was an MPSV2 that came up right here, guys. My bad. I totally missed this one. So there was an MPSV2 that actually came up here for a buy. The ATR is really low, so I probably would, just push for 20 right there. Nice. Yeah, PC said he has a 36-inch curved monitor and it's amazing. I was thinking about getting one of those too. I was either thinking about getting one of those curved ones or just one of those extra, extra wide ones, which is the same thing. It's just the curved one is probably better for my head. So I'm not like looking all over the place. I've seen a huge one though. I've seen like a 96-inch one at like Costco. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. It's pretty big. It's like those ones that people kind of stand up the long way. Yeah, Visual said no point in buying monitors. TVs are doing the same job but cheaper. So the thing with the TVs, like I do agree with you that the TV monitors are good. The only thing is like the frame rate, right? So which is not a big deal unless you're looking at like micro movements in the market, right? So yeah, the only thing is like frame rate, so it's kind of laggy a little bit, but it's not that bad. It's not going to make or break things because I used to use a monitor before too. Like like I have like an 80-inch in my bedroom, so that thing's big. It's a little too big. So yeah, I think that's like a little overkill. All right, so we got the MPSV2, which is still currently running right now, guys, in profit. It's pushing down. We're starting to get a rush of volatility right here. I'm not sure if you got into the trade, Christian. Here goes the sell. There you go. Full TP right there for the MPS V2, guys, if you guys caught that. Nice work to those of you who entered that trade there. I would have taken it if the volatility was a little higher, but the volatility here is just too low. There's just not much here to work with. Other than that, there's not really much else for me to take here. There's a possible sweep area, which is going to be down here at the sessions. But, like I said earlier, I was mainly looking for sells here if it was possible. I just don't really see anything. Yeah, PC said I need at least 2K monitor for trading. 1080p is not ideal. Yeah, no, I agree with you too. My screen is 2K. What's the other one? So I want to get the Max Studio one. That one is like super expensive, but if you guys have seen it in person, it is it's crazy. The resolution on that one is like it feels like you're there. Let me see if I can find it. It's just too expensive. Like I can't justify getting like because the screen's not that big, but the resolution is like super crazy. If you're doing like video edits, then of course it makes sense. But but yeah, I mean if it was like a little cheaper, I would get it. Or if it was a little bigger, I would get it. But it's pretty crazy. I wish they would update the Mac though. It's like yeah, so let me show you guys real quick. There's no entries right now, guys, so don't worry. You're not missing out on anything. Yeah, so this one right here, it's a 5K Retina display. If you guys ever go in the Apple store, like it looks like a regular monitor, but if you guys play around with it and you look at stuff that's like super high resolution, it's pretty nuts how good it is. The thing is it's only 27 inches, so I would like something a lot bigger, right? I have to get like two of them or maybe four of them, and they're about like, almost 2,000 each. Oh no, not that one. Sorry, I'm talking about this one, the Pro Display. Yeah, this thing is 5,000. This thing is 6K Retina display. If you guys ever go to the Apple store, take a look at this. This is probably going to be the next monitor I get though, because I know it's going to last forever. 32 inches, so it's like decently big, but it's not like huge, huge. Yeah, that's what I meant. This one. It's kind of overkill though. I mean, like, like you said, PC, like the resolution is important. I think 6K is a little overkill, but it's crazy. I opened up TradingView on it last time I was at the Apple store, and I'm like, man, this thing's like super, super, super nice. But it's crazy when the monitor costs more than the computer. That's when you know you're overdoing it. Unless you're some sort of like, high-end video editor. All right, anyways, guys, there's no entries here right now. We have a possible sweep that may have happened right here at the resistance level. So we had the overnight high key resistance level right here. Price might be pushing off it. Ideally, I'm not really looking for buys here. Again, we talked about this earlier. For me, for the most part, I would personally would like to look for some sells here. There's just no opportunities here at the moment. There's a possible A++ setting up right there too. So there's conflicting analysis here. I'm kind of curious to see. So the thing is, let's go check the market profile. We're out of the range right now. So the sells here actually do look pretty good because it looks like price might be trying to pull back into this lower range. This is a range from earlier this morning between this area. We got this big push up. So possibly wants to come back into this range here. Possibly. Doesn't for sure have to happen, but there's a possibility of it. The ATR is currently 16 right now, so I'd probably lower this to like maybe 20. So the sweep just happened right here at the resistance, guys. Actually, it already hit. Never mind, take that back. So the sweep here already, if you went for 2020, the sweep happened right here. It pulled down a little bit. It got to this resistance here. This you can't really see the red line very well, but it's right below the purple line. It is overnight high key resistance. I should have put a line between that. There we go. So this was the overnight high and it's the key resistance. So basically it is a resistance turn support. So basically you can see over here price broke above it, retested. So break and retest of the resistance, came back for another retest, and now it's a support. You know what? This could be a possible head and shoulders that might be setting up right here now that I'm looking at it. Um, yeah, this looks like a possible head and shoulders right here. Oh yeah, it's all good, Sam. It happens. It was kind of tricky where you took it like that. I know there's a A plus plus coming right there, but there was too many red flags, so that's like where I would have skipped it. But it's all good. It happens and it's part of the game. But now that I'm looking at this here, guys, this looks like a possible head and shoulder setting up. So we have a break and retest right here for shoulder, head, shoulder back down. Because the neckline is right here at this resistance price point and the sessions. I mean, we'll see. We don't know for sure if that's going to be the case, but we'll see. All right, there's nothing else here for us to really look at. Man, I'm surprised this display is still 5,000. I thought price would have went down by now, but it hasn't. All right, no other news events for today. We're good on that. I have a pending buy signal right here. Establish a new high. All right, so we have a new high right here at the VWAP estimate that we talked about earlier. Again, it's not a real confluence, it's just an estimate. So it's not like a resistance or support or anything like that. Now, I'm trying to understand. I'll probably look at it later, but I'm trying to understand because my AI, I try to figure out like what are the most profitable strategies and how do they align with mine. There's this one that's like a VWAP retest. It's the one that always comes up in the like this one over here, the VWAP rejection scalps. 42,800. Let's see what it says. Short entries if price retests 42,770. It's actually pretty crazy. So I'm gonna look at the setup right here. So the scalp setup over here was no, that setup didn't actually play through, but it actually lined up perfect. So if you guys look over here, basically it said VWAP rejection scalps right here. It says short entries if price retests this area between 42,770 to 42,800, and that actually happened. So 42,800 is right here and 42,770. So you guys can see that this my liquidity sweep, I really should have taken this sweep over here. I didn't even look to see this on the play. I got to pay attention to this a little better. But anyways, if you look over here under chapter 3, scalping plays, so there's an entry that was set up right here. Obviously, I wouldn't take the target all the way down to the Globex low, but it says VWAP rejection scalp entries, short entries if price retests 42,770 and 42,800. So that's literally what happened right here at this sweep. Price came to that area. I probably should have taken that sweep because now that I'm looking at this, this is like a super confluence because basically my report said to take the sell there. And if I looked at that and I knew that that was the case and I saw that I had a sweep right there at the same exact price, I would have taken this one, which would have hit 30 points. It said basically to ride it for 30 to 50 points. Obviously, I wouldn't go for 50 points. I'd go for 30, and the 30 points did hit right there. So tomorrow I'm going to look at this to see what type of setups do they have here. The long setups are between 42, 530 I mean, obviously that's not going to happen. Price is too far above. Yeah, so my reports will give like certain setups here to possibly look for, but using this in confluence with like my liquidity sweeps or my MPSV2s, um, they usually help a lot. So I'll keep that in mind for tomorrow's analysis. It's just good to know. All right, I'm gonna clean that up right there. I don't think there's going to be any more entries for today, guys. Yeah, so looking over here at the risk management recommendations, if you look over here in news village, vigilance, stay alert for unscheduled news drops, Fed leaks, geopolitical tweets, and oil shocks. All of this stuff is kind of tied in. So, like for example, if we do get something from Iran, it's going to affect the oil price as well. Where's Cody? What's up, Cody? Ready to come to work? Here, boy. Come here. Come on, Christian's waiting for you. Christian, he's not. Cody knows the market's dead. Come on, Cody, come to work. Yeah, Cody finally woke up, but he knows the market's dead right now. So he's not looking to come to his office chair. Yeah, exactly. Christian said Cody's saying it's not worth it. Yeah, it's not. So guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. It's about to be 8 o'clock, 7:53 right now, so I'm about to wrap this up pretty soon. There's an MPSV2 here that might be setting up. We had a sell signal. It is retracing and possible continuation to the downside. Yeah, CJ said, Cody's been on a vacation longer than me. I know. He's taking that summer vacay. Market's been kind of flat. So I think my main goal for the next week, guys, is really to get those entries in before 7 o'clock. Because, like I said earlier, oh, there goes Cody. You could see him, Christian. You can't see him. Steve's at the edge. Okay. He's looking at the charts. All right, so we'll see. Yeah, Shiv said green, green, red retracement, green above momentum, entry, then spike down. I could see that too. Yeah, no, there's just not really too much here that's happening. It is we're just in a range right now, guys. So just keep that in mind. Right now we're in this range. This is normal for summer markets. So expect like, some sort of push away. You guys can see the original range right here. So the original range was down here, pushed up a little bit, ranged up here, then it pushed back down and ranged right here. So not really much of a change here at all. It's just the summer market. That's why I'm saying like I got to get my entries in before 7 o'clock because this is where all the volatility's at, right? Once 7 o'clock hit right here, I mean, we did get some push to the upside, but it was more of a just choppy range. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to analyze my report a little better so I can have an idea of like what setups they're looking for. And with those setups, if they line up with my liquidity sweeps or MPSV2, I'll probably gonna jump into those trades because it does set up a lot. Um, yeah, Samson got manipulated with an A plus plus, but still locking 4 wins and just 1 loss for the day. So nice work right there, Sam. You did pretty good. Visual said, by the way, 2 minute opening range worked really nice. Gave him over 200 points. Nice work, Visual. Yeah, so it looks like the opening range worked out really well for Visual. If you guys look at our setups for today, we actually had some pretty good setups. We had the breakout here, hit for 100 points. So the breakout over here hit for 100 points for today. We had one MPSV2 sweep, MPSV2 sweep, MPSV2 sweep, sweep, MPSV2, two MPSV2s actually. They started to overlap here after 7 o'clock. After 7, we had two sweeps, two MPSV2s, one more MPSV2, and a sweep right there. No other MPSV2 to follow from this point. Um, yeah, I mean it's a summer market. So, like I said, guys, we're probably going to get some sideways move here. You're probably not going to see too much volatility. If you guys are looking to trade, I would probably not trade for the rest of the day. I'm not expecting the volatility here to pick up. There's not really any news events. Tomorrow's a big day. So tomorrow we have FOMC, unless there's some FOMC leaks or if Iran and Israel have some sort of update with regard to their war going on. Yeah, if you guys think about it, there's like multiple wars going on all throughout the world right now, right? We have the Ukraine-Russia war going on. We have the whole thing going on in India, or wherever the war is going on in India. You know, there's that war that's going on there as well, that civil war. And then we have the war between Iran and Israel. So there's a lot of stuff going on around the world. So that's why you guys want to be careful because like one news event could really spike price. So that's why, like for me personally, I prefer to scalp like these types of trades that we're taking here. I prefer to take these scalp trades because I'd rather be in and out quickly than, be stuck in a position where you'll be holding on to something for, a couple hours, maybe a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, and it ends up spiking the other way because of some sort of news event. Um, let's see, Christian said the MPSV2 at 7:30. I was looking at it right here, and so let's draw a line right there. Yeah, I know you're probably looking at the one before it right there, Christian. And I was looking at that one too, but it actually happened on this one, the one I marked up. So I know I was looking at this one right here, but it didn't actually close above it. So it was when this one closed right there. I was gonna mark it here before that. Oh, you're right. Yeah, my bad, Christian. Thanks for letting me know. So this MPSV2 here actually didn't play out, or yeah, it didn't play out at all. Thanks, Christian. I always get the MPSV2s mixed up when you have these small candles. But yeah, it did come up right here. I think this type of market that we're currently in, you got to be very selective about the MPSV2s. The sweeps are going to be more ideal because you can set a pending order and they'll line up with confluences. For the MPSV2s here, they are, I mean, they're hitting. Don't get me wrong, the MPSV2s are hitting, but the odds of you hitting an unlucky one is more likely than not. And that's kind of what's been happening with me. That's why I'm very selective with my MPSV2s, and I'm mostly geared towards taking sweeps because we are in a summer market, so market's going to range most of the time. Yeah, thanks Shiv and Christian for the heads up on that. Yeah, PC said ChatGPT says the orb strategy is one of the highest win rate strats. Is it? The thing with so I actually look on ChatGPT every day. The one that I saw, and here, I'll just ask it again. Yes. What strategy has the highest win rate for scalping day? I'll put both scalping, day trading. Yeah. So I mean, the orb is number two from what I see, but the number one that I see is a VWAP retest. So I'll just put it over here. I mean, I've been asking a ton of questions to ChatGPT. Yeah, the VWAP retest and liquidity sweep is number one. So this has a 70 to 85% win rate. That's why I kind of stick with the sweep. The second one is the orb, right? Or ORF. I don't know why they call it ORF. Or the orb is like what a lot of people are applying, but the ORF is the fake out. So it does have a high win rate as well. Effectively first 15, 20 minutes. The problem is like really determining, which one you want to take, the orb or the ORF. Um, yeah, let's see, I'll ask it too. Which strategy is best for YM Dow futures specifically? Yeah, it's still the VWAP liquidity sweep trap. That's basically what I'm doing, except I'm not using the VWAP. I'm using my liquidity zones and I'm using my confluences with the others. I mean, the orb is still up. It's still up there. It's actually not even listed here anymore. Well, the number one is going to be the sweep. That's why I'm like sticking to the sweeps right now because that's just kind of what I've been following. Um, your problem just might be different, PC. I mean, it doesn't matter. The orb is still number two, so it doesn't make a difference. I mean, your prompt probably is catered towards the uh the orb. The orb and the orb fade is the same thing. So this doesn't make a difference. The Yeah, so it seems like, the one-to-ones are the best, maybe a little bit higher, but I mean they're all kind of the same strategy. If you look at the orb fade and the breakout trap, they're the same thing. Because basically you're just looking for, I guess the breakout trap you can kind of look for more entries, but yeah, the orb is still pretty high, which lines up with the breakout. I mean, so like I said, the orb is kind of similar to the breakout, and the orb fade is basically a breakout loser, which is breakouts. So it says what is not high win rate, momentum chasing. I mean, this is all subjective too. So guys, whenever you guys use ChatGPT, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's like it depends on like how you ask the question. This was my prompt earlier. I just said, you're a professional futures trading analyst. What strategy has the highest win rate for scalping day trading? And it gave me these. Your prompt was probably a little different, and it probably just rated them. And it's not a big difference. They're only off by like 5%. So. But the orb is good. I agree with PC or visual, whoever uses it. I mean, it's a good strategy. It's a good strategy, so just depends on like what you guys want to use. Again, like the win rate percentages, it just depends on the person because you can apply a strategy that has a high win rate, but if the person applying it doesn't really know how to apply it properly, it's not going to be beneficial. Yeah, PC said I like the orb after we get a rejection off supply and demand on the higher time frame. And yeah, that's another thing too. So like what PC just mentioned, right? The orb, or not even just the orb, the breakout, any type of strategy, if you add another confluence to it, it um it makes a huge difference. Win rate goes up pretty crazy. CJ said, where can I research the orb breakout trap VWAP retest strategy? Came back and not only have new strats and confluence, but also consulting AI. Were you not here for the past couple of days, CJ? Because yeah, I took a deep dive I don't remember what day was it. I think it was Friday or Thursday last week. So Thursday or Friday last week, I took a super deep dive into AI and ChatGPT. I'm currently building my own GPT right now, which is it learns and it gets smarter the more questions I ask it. I'm still working on it, so it's got a long way to go. It's not as easy as it sounds, because I have to feed it data and I have to feed it stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to use just plain ChatGPT, it's great to get like real-time data and real-time news and stuff like that. But for me to create this AI, um, to like pretty much learn with us and understand. So what I'm doing with this new GBT that I'm building, it's private right now, so you guys won't have access to it or you guys won't be able to find it. Maybe in the future I'll open it up to the public. But what I'm doing is I'm training this GPT to understand like that I'm specifically trading YM and I'm specifically trading uh in the morning for scalps, and then I'm basically teaching it my strategies so that it can improve the strategies for me, which is it's pretty crazy. It's AI is pretty interesting and it's pretty crazy. So like I'm basically giving it my strategies and I'm telling it like find better ways to apply these strategies or find better risk to reward or find better times to trade and stuff like that. But it's gonna take time, of course. and it costs a lot of money. So ChatGPT is free and it's cheap. There's a free version and there's a plus version. I'm on the plus version, but once you start to build your own GPT, you have to like start to put money into OpenAI and these other platforms to pull data for you and automate things. So hopefully by the end of the year it'll be all done and I'll be able to use it. And yeah, I mean it's going to be helpful for all of us, right? It's going to be a win-win for all of us. I'm pretty much doing all the heavy work right here, and then once I have the whole interface and everything set up, maybe I'll like make it open to you guys too, so you guys can use it. But all right, guys, I think that's it. We went way over time today. It's 8:07. As you guys can see, price is starting to push to the upside. There's no entries here right now. There's a buy signal. So if you're looking to take that MPSV2, look for the retracement and continuation to the upside. Um, Next sweep is probably going to happen right here at the prior close. Resistance 1 or resistance 2 up here. So look for possible push to the upside and sweep right there, or sweep right here. But I think that's it. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. These are today's setups for the day. Let me kind of clean this up a little bit and take a screenshot of everything here. But today was a pretty good day. I just didn't catch anything because the market slowed down past 7. Otherwise, I would have taken, a lot of these entries here. So breakout right there, full TP. I'll just take a screenshot of this. And then here are the setups from today if you guys want to come back and take a look at it. Again, guys, just another reminder. I post the PDFs for the daily outlooks every morning on Discord. So just go to the Discord. If you guys are not part of the Discord, just go down to the description below. There's a link for the Discord there. If you guys want access to the course and all that stuff too, it's also down there. Just go down here to market outlooks, daily outlooks, and I post the outlooks here every morning. So just get on the live set or get onto the Discord before 6 o'clock. Download this outlook. This is what the outlook looks like. It'll have all my levels here. So once you guys have those levels, just mark them up on your chart. Look for the possible plays here. If the plays line up with your strategy, you don't have to follow these plays, but if the plays do line up with your specific strategy, then it's probably gonna be a home run hit. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, let me post the trades for today. And I think we're good. All right, guys, I think we're good. So just gonna share this over here and we are good to go. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap this up for the day. There's no entries here for me to take. If you guys want to take an MPSV2, it's probably gonna set up right here if the candle closes green. If not, just call it a day, guys. Come back tomorrow fresh as FOMC data is released. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, I'll be in the Discord. Otherwise,